Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing some fun projects and also some maintenance projects. I do think the maintenance projects are fun, but planting in beautiful things into the garden is amazing too. So we're going to be doing some transplanting. It is early fall and this is the best time to be doing that. So that is one of the tasks that I kind of prioritize in the spring, that if I have something that needs to be transplanted, I want to do it laying over there in some ajuga. I try to prioritize the transplanting for this time of the year because the ground is warming up. The ground is also drying out, so it makes it easier to transplant. And it gives the plants enough time in the spring to kind of get nestled in and comfortable in the garden before the warmer weather of the summer hits. So I'm transplanting some things to make room for some beautiful spring blooming rhodies. I'm going to turn you around and show you what those are. Then we're going to go get some weeding and some mulching done because I need to get the mulch out of the back of my husband's truck. So we'll get that job done and then we'll get to transplanting and planting in these beautiful hydrangeas. So let me show you the variety that I got and then we'll get to work. Here they are. Aren't they beautiful? I know that not everybody can grow rhododendrons because they do prefer pretty acidic soil, which we do have here in Western Oregon. But gosh, this variety I am so excited about. It is called Percy Wisemen. And I believe that this is the same kind that I've seen at the bank across from our church. And I've been eyeing it for years. I love how the buds are this dark pink, and then they open to kind of a pinkier pink, and then they fade out with this yellowy, creamy color. I love that effect on plants when it has a kind of a variation or a progression of color on the blooms. So when I saw these at Bauman Farms the other day when I went there, I snatched them up because I have a spot along our driveway that doesn't really have much for spring color, and I thought these would just be perfect there. Plus they're evergreen, so they will give interest all year long. So we will get to that, but first we have another project. I started us out over there to look at those plants because my boys and their friends were over here on the back patio getting ready to go do an airsoft battle, and I just wanted to be kind of out of their way. So now we're over here where we're going to do some quick weeding right here in this path. So, well, Bella's laying on it. So it'll be a pretty satisfying project to get the weeds out and to get some dark hemlock down on this sweet little path that goes across our lawn. And like I said, I just have to get the mulch out of my husband's truck because it's holding up his truck, so we can't use it. So anyway, I'm going to get this done really quick, and then we will go get to transplanting some things and planting in the beautiful rhodies. So you might think that using the hula hoe doesn't get out the roots, but you can see that it actually does. So it's a pretty quick, easy way to pull the weeds, especially when they're in mass like this. path is all done. And by the power of editing and YouTube, it probably just looked like it took a couple minutes, but that was about maybe an hour and a half, I guess, of a process to finish up. But it looks a lot better, and you guys know that I appreciate when views that I have from the inside of the house look nice. This is one, as you can see right there, we have a set of patio doors right there. I can see right out here when I'm in the living room, and I like to see this little path nice and tidy. So after weeding it, I edged the sides a bit, and then got the mulch down, the bark dust down, which, as I said, I think I mentioned it's dark hickory. I probably could have just done wood chips, but I've done dark hickory here over the past several years, and I like it because it is supposed to be lower in slivers. I don't know. Anyway, it'll look nice for a little bit of time until the dogs start running through it, and it'll get a little bit roughed up, but that's okay. Still looks a lot better for now. So now we get to go look at what we're going to be transplanting and get those rhodies in the ground. All right, so I think I like the placement of these two. You can see that this is quite a, I don't know, masculine looking garden. There's kind of a lot of dark colors in it, and it won't be until, well, there is lavender that will bloom, and then there's a couple of buddleia that will bloom, and I guess the spirea will also bloom. It's right here, and there's two yellow ones back there. Those will bloom pink, so it will lighten up the space a little bit. But between the dark barberries and just a lot of the, foliage that we have going on right now, it's kind of masculine. So I was thinking it'd be really pretty to have some spring color. Now these won't bloom this early next year. I think they'll bloom a little bit later, but they still probably won't overlap what's, what else will be naturally blooming. So I do think really the only thing right now that I have to transplant is this little Gara that's right there. I was kind of thinking I was originally going to put this one right here where this Deutzia is, but the Deutzia is just about to start blooming. You can see it does have buds on it, and if I can avoid disturbing it right now, I would prefer that. So if I go back to Bauman's and I find another one of this variety, I think I will plant it in right here, which would mean that I will have to transplant out the Deutzia and those two Gara. There's two right there, and I'd plop it kind of right in here. So I think I might look for another one because, of course, generally, things look better in trios than in just a pair. So that would be ideal. I'll probably look for another one to do that. But for now, we're going to put these in, and then I will have to look for a place for the Gara. Well, it doesn't often happen that a project ends up being a little simpler than anticipated, but I ended up not even transplanting anything. I just kind of pushed this guy back a little bit, and see this 9 bark next to it. It just really grows pretty much straight up. I mean, even I see there's some branches on the bottom that I should just prune off. So I don't really think that they'll encroach, but if they touch, that's okay too. And also the elderberry behind it gets pretty large, but I'm trying to just basically keep it, you know, pruned up a little bit at the bottom. So I just kind of scooted this rhodie back a little bit, and then the Gara is still right there. And basically once the Gara grows up and is blooming, the rhodie will be done blooming, I believe. I'll see how the timing goes on that next year, but for now, I think that will work out just fine. So if I do end up getting a third, I will have to move some of the stuff that's back there in order to plop one right there. But for now, I really like this pairing because as I come down the driveway, I can see them peeking out right there. And I've just felt like those spots needed something to fill them in. So because that went actually a lot quicker, I think I'm gonna go grab a few more of the Diamond Frost Euphorbia that I have. I planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here the other day, and I ended up going and picking up a few more to place right here and right there because I did have some pink cashmere superbena that was planted there and it was coming back, but I just decided that I like the look of the repetition of the one annual along the driveway here. So I did pick up a few more of the Diamond Frost Euphorbia, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get those planted right now. I moved one of the superbena to another spot, and then the other two that were just kind of coming back a little spindly, I think I'll just go ahead and get rid of those, or I don't know, maybe plant them someplace else. But for now, I'm just gonna get the Diamond Frost Euphorbia in the ground and call it good for these projects. Actually, Diamond Snow. I was wrong. All right, the Euphorbia is in the ground, and I was incorrect, as you saw. They are not Diamond Frost, I think I was calling them. They're actually Diamond Snow. And I think that means that they get a little bit smaller. They grow a little bit smaller. So here's where the little bit, so here's where they start, the 1, 2, and then I don't have them right here because last year this spot I realized was terrible for digging in because there was just a lot of cement right there from when they installed our little transformer back there. So I planted some Dusty Miller and it did so well that I actually just cut it back. It's looking kind of gross right now, but it'll flush back and look really pretty. So there's just 2 more right there, and then the third that I planted, and you can see they just kind of dot along right here. This is a super low care annual for me. It really doesn't need much water. It doesn't need fertilizer. I mean, it might appreciate fertilizer, but I didn't fertilize mine last year, I don't think at all, and it just kept doing its thing all season long. So I really like it down here on my driveway. It's just a garden bed that I don't do too much maintenance on, being kind of farther from the hose and all that stuff from up at the house. So glad to have those ones in. I still have I purchased a few extra of those. I think I still have maybe 7 more. I was thinking of putting those into some containers or my window boxes. I have that project coming up that I'm excited to do. But I really wanted to get these rhodies in the ground because they are gorgeous. They're spring color. This spot needed it, and so that was a priority for me today. So we got that done, and I'm glad to have the path in the backyard done as well. So I'm still going to probably be plugging around out here, but for now I'm going to go in and have some lunch and see how my boys' airsoft battle went, and yeah, check in with them and see where the day takes me. So thanks for hanging out with me this morning while I did these projects. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.